Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Mom.
And this is Millennial Mom. And today we are here to bring to you all and talk to you guys about the new season of Ready to Love Last Resort. And it actually looks like it's going to be a fun and interesting season. So let's get into the review. Alright, so this resort that they're at looks very beautiful, peaceful, and divine. And also for this new season, we're going to have to look down at our notes because there are 20 people and there's so many names to remember and we just want to get it right. So we're going to get it there. But right now, we have the notes. And the first person we see coming is Calfani. He is a fitness person. He looks good. He looks ripped and he looks like he's ready to mingle. And then we also see Joy. She comes in with her fro. We know that she's in management. I loved her hair. I loved her vibe, her style. And as we saw with the episode, the other men were too. Then we have Edwin. He's the chef with the Superman tattoo, Mr. Clark Kent. I was feeling him at first, but something about that just threw me off. What did you think?
I was feeling him at first too. I'm like, chef, right up my alley. But then he did the Clark Kent. And I can see where he was talking about, like, you know, I'll take care of you, I'll take care of whoever. But it just came off a little,
egocentric.
a little bit.
Yeah. Next person we have is Denise, the second egocentric person I thought on the show. She said she's coming in 5'10", so her ego's 5'10", and she needs a man to match her ego in her fly because she's not having nothing else besides that. And I was like, okay then. Next, we have David come on the island, the resort. It's not an island. And he's a country boy. He said he's a country boy and he likes city girls.
No, he said he dated city girls, but city girls only want your money.
Well, he likes city girls. And I'm a city girl, but he talks a little bit slow for me. But he's cute though, but I can understand what he was saying.
He's a country boy.
Next on the list is Winter with a Y. She's already coming in strong, flirting with the man. She's already like, oh, I need a drink too. You gonna get me a drink? Ooh, you like my dress?
Right.
The dress was cute, not gonna lie.
She did say that orange dress was, in her mind, going to be the standout. But one thing I noticed before you get to the other singles that arrive is that the men all appear to be physically fit. Like, they all seem to be, like, into fitness. And the women, most of them all seem to be, like, over a certain height. I noticed that.
Well, I noticed that about the men. I didn't notice that about the women. Next on the list is Alicia. She says she's tired of the what you doing text. She's tired of the man who only wants to, you know, do one thing that's on their mind and not move it up to the next level. I was like, I feel you, girl.
Yeah.
Even though I'm young, I feel you, Alicia.
But to me, Alicia's coming in as a wild card because she's the one that comes across like more that city girl that the country guy was talking about.
David.
Seems like that's who that is.
Next on the list is Mom's favorite. Of course, she always has to have a favorite on the show. Is Chris.
Chris, KG Smooth. He's not my favorite, but I can appreciate, well, he's a standout from last episode. I can appreciate how he came in with his pink suit because it does take some confidence to wear a pink, or as nephew Tommy said, pink suit. I give him that. And he's also dripping with look like his body oil and his 12-pack abs.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, he's glistening with his abs out. He's ready to go. I'm like, I would be friends with him. I wouldn't talk to him. But then he probably wouldn't be friends with me because I'm probably too young for him anyways. And then we have someone else who's Mom's favorite, I think, Simone, the lawyer. She came in, she said she's ready for a sausage fest. I'm like, sis, this is not what this show is about. I mean, yeah, you have all the men you mingling, but you're looking for someone to marry. Even though she's like, you know, I can have 5 husbands, but I guess I have to have 1.
Well, again, she was on my predictor from last week. So was KT or KG. They stood out to me because of their eccentric, over-the-top personalities.
But I like her hair, though. And then we see Adriana come in. Adriana is the youngest one on the show. She is 31. And she brought up a fact that, you know, she already sees the women looking at her because she's younger, so...
Give him the side eye. Let me get it.
So she probably thinks that she could be a threat. And I was like, I can see that because she's either gonna be someone who's gonna go home early because the men are gonna like her because she's young, or she's gonna be there for a long run because all the men or most of the men are gonna like her because she's young.
So she's on a double-edged sword kind of thing. She's either kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
In the midst of all that, everyone's mingling. We didn't get to see everyone from the show unless you saw the casting special that Mom did. Then you saw it. But nephew Tommy comes out. They're all lined up, and he lets them know, like, we're here on this resort. By the end of the night, 2 people are gonna go home, and at the end, only 6 people, which means 3 couples, are gonna remain. And I'm just looking at everybody. I'm like, I don't know who's gonna be matched up yet.
Well, it's too early to see because everything is based on first impressions for today. But again, you saw some people come with the standout outfits, that pink suit, the orange dress, the overtalk personality. So there you go.
So the first real mingling that we were seeing was from Rashid and Denise. Well, more so from Rashid because Rashid approaches her and I guess he already had a glass for her, or maybe it was just sitting on the table, and she was like, oh no, I'm gonna go get mine myself. But Rashid was coming at her with all the confidence. So I'm like, okay, if he's coming at her with all the confidence that she wants, what's the issue? I guess she wasn't feeling that. I'm like, but your ego's 5'10". He's clearly over 5'10". I thought y'all was going to at least match or something.
Something, because that's exactly what she said she was looking for, at least the aesthetics of him. But she came off just as cocky as they did, and it turned out they went their separate ways because she wasn't feeling it. But in walks Calfani. Or did she walk up to him?
It don't matter. They came to each other.
Either way, she was like, he is fine. He is fine. I'm like, girl, is he fine? Right?
Clearly.
So they end up talking, they get on this swing, and you know what? The conversation came up like, what happened in your last relationship? And Denise goes on to say that she came out of a domestic violence relationship and she was almost killed. And I'm thinking, okay, you open up to a man, but it is the first time meeting you. So I'm not sure, to me, if it was a little too much. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he asked a question. She was being truthful. I mean, it's a show where they're trying to be ready to love. So you have to be open and transparent.
Yeah.
And Calfani took this as, okay, so, you know, you had that DV relationship. Is this why you have this, like, hard exterior? Her ego 5'10". And she's like, yeah, she agrees. I'm like, okay, I can see why she is like that for right now. So hopefully, you know, they were vibing. Maybe she'll soften up a little bit, you know, be more open to everybody.
Well, she said, you know, she's soft, but don't try her. I was like, okay. Now you see Calfani. He's mingling around. He's one of the main minglers tonight. He's mingling with Danny. And Danny is 41. Danny got married young. She got married when she was like 19, 20, something like that, and has a daughter that's 21. And she's on this show, of course, like everyone else. She's ready to love, but she's also ready to start her life over again, how she puts it, because she said, you know, that was more than half her life ago.
Danny, when she was talking, reminded me of Mom. I'm like, see, Mom needs to be on this show because she's ready to love and open up, and I'm really rooting for Danny so far because she seems like she has good vibes.
Well, Danny and I have a similar story about being married young and, you know, doing things young. And now when you reach a certain point in your life, you're ready to start over again with someone who's ready. And it is kind of hard to find. I know it's off topic, but it is. But they seemed like they was having a good time, a good conversation. But one thing Calfani said was, yeah, you know, she's kind of like cool and all, but it's like hanging out with my homies. I was like, oh no.
All right, I was like,
already?
Homies. I'm like, she was more friendly than Denise, in my opinion.
I thought so too.
Who's the next mingler you have on your list?
The next mingler is Raymond. You know, he's the oldest one on the show.
Oh, Raymond, the musician and the singer with the wink.
Yes.
I was like, okay, Raymond.
Well, Raymond is mingling, and it turns out he doesn't get very good conversation from a Simone or other women.
He does get good conversation, Mom, until he starts talking about his personal life. That's when everyone's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Right.
Let me go get some water.
Right, some water, right. And all he could do is look. But One person he seemed to connect with was Alicia. And once they started talking and he says, yeah, I have 5 kids, she's like,
Oh, okay.
Right, but she doesn't go get water. She stays, she goes along with the flow for the conversation. Now, one thing she says is, she doesn't normally, as they most say, talk to guys like this or in this particular predicament, but she's here for love, so she's willing to try. She's trying to see what's going on.
I think it was the 5 kids, and then he added on that he's a musician and he toured with Genuine and he used to run with the boys, but he don't run like that anymore, is what turned most of the older women off, like Mom. But then when he went to talk to Adriana, and Adriana was feeling the vibe and they were connecting, she's like, yeah, I understand. I was like, is this what happens? The older you are, the more you're like, no, I'm good. And then like the younger you are, you're like, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance. How do you think, Mom? Because I think I would be like, you know what? He used to run with Genuine. I'm going to give him a chance.
And it was a no for me. Off top. We have the younger thing. You're younger, I'm older, and it was automatic no. Off top for me. Just by what he was saying. And the 5 kids. But while they're talking, who interrupts the conversation? Rashid. I was like, now he could at least let them continue on the conversation, but he didn't.
For what? It's a show where they're mingling, trying to get to know everybody. But before you even get into all that, I thought it was interesting that Adriana let us know they used to have a thing back in the day when he was just freshly divorced. She got out of a relationship. And then when she saw him earlier, they're like, oh my God, I didn't see you there. I'm like, you did not see each other when you all lined up with nephew Tommy.
You know what? This happened last season too, but this is something always happened the last season where someone knows each other. So Raymond excused himself and let them continue to talk. And it turns out the reason why they had broke up previously, not just because she ghosted him, was because she had just recently came out of a relationship, and so did he. Like, he was recently divorced, so was she, and now they're here together, and what a coincidence. And now they're both ready to love. So
she says she's ready to learn from someone and to grow with someone. He's like, I'm with it. You want kids and all that stuff? I'm like, okay, so he likes the younger and she likes the older men, and they seem like they might rekindle the relationship.
Well, one thing he said was, I'm in love. I think I'm in love. I'm like, are you joking or are you real?
He's serious. He's ready to love. And the next mingler you notice, Mom?
The next one on deck is Sam. Now, Sam, he is just off in the corner, seemed like the corner, with his drink, just looking around to see who he's going to engage with and mingle with. He's like, well, they are eliminating somebody at the end, so maybe I ought to talk to somebody. I'm like, that right there, to me, is the problem.
I was like, because I didn't know what his name was first. I was like, Mr. Yellow Shirt, you're going to have to get out there. Stop scoping out the scene. Just talk to someone. And when he finally went to talk to someone, I forgot who it was.
He went to talk to Shay, and she's a chef. And one of the things he started talking about, well, all the things he started talking about, he just went on a tangent. Like, so, do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life, pretty much? And do you see yourself doing this? And what about that? What about this? Like, drilling her. And I'm like,
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought he was just having conversations with her. I was vibing with Sam. He kind of looks like the singer/rapper Lecrae.
Okay. After she got water or just left the table in general, he ended up talking to Alex. And Alex, again, is somebody who said, this is someone who normally I would be bored with, but I'm feeling his vibe. I'm like, are you?
Yes.
Because I just can pick up on what he was trying to put down.
He was trying to have nice, genuine conversation with these ladies, not only not to get eliminated, but to actually know who they were. I was picking up what he was putting down.
I mean, he interrogated from jump. I mean, just like, so do you think you do that for the rest of your life? I mean, are you going to do what you're doing for the rest of your life?
Maybe.
Okay.
Off of that, let's just jump on to Chris, aka KT, aka Mom's top contender. He says he can't be eliminated because he got the sex appeal. He got the suit, he got the abs, he got the smile, he got the personality. He just exudes sexiness. So why would he go home the first day? And I'm like, he has a point. He's not going home the first day.
Well, good thing it's not up to me. because he would have been one of the people up for elimination. He may not have gotten eliminated, but he would have been one of those people because there's such a thing called first impressions, as they say, and even some may say that about us. But I just don't know. I mean, it just came across the way it came across for Denise to me. Like, it was like an over cockiness to me, but that's just my first impression. But he did vibe with, I think her name was Naya.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing they had going on, they had in-depth intellectual conversation. I think that's something that Sam was looking for with whoever he was talking to. Because when they got to talking, they both were saying how they want to find real love. And they both said, they did this, did that, been here, been there, done with it. It's time now to go forward. And they both connected on that. And I was like, okay, well, maybe, the suit gave you a different persona than...
Maybe you had to keep talking to him to pick up what he was putting down.
Maybe so.
Like Sam.
Possibly so. I'll give you that one. And then, we see Simone. She's moving around. She's mingling. And I don't see the connection she's making. I just see her going from this person to that person. I think she still has her lawyer hat on that she can't turn off. She did mention that last week. And I think that's really part of possibly what the issue is for her.
The thing with Simone that I think is turning some people off, though I kind of don't see a problem with it, is she's looking for someone who's financially stable. Not someone who's, doing this or that here and there, not getting too many financials like a musician, someone in the theaters, someone like that. She's looking for someone who is ready for her to settle down with, to travel with, to do all those luxurious things with it. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I don't either, but she did make a good point where she says you can't take abs to the bank. That's true, because a lot of men there did have abs, and clearly they were focused on their abs.
The sex appeal.
So when she sat down to talk to David, she asked, what do you like to do? The basic question they all talked about. And he said, I like to travel. And he just either came back from the DR or is going to the DR in a couple weeks. And she said, the DR? For what, them hoes? And I was like, what? But again, first impressions, be you, right? Be the real authentic you. And when we see David in his confessional, he's like, I just thought that was just aggressive. Like, what was that about?
Completely turned off.
Yeah, and I could see that because her tone comes off that way. It actually comes off a little uppity, and I don't know if the guys seem to like that. I think they like her style, her look, but her personality.
But from this whole episode, the one connection that I saw that seemed like it's going to be genuine and build is between Jay and Joy, because they seem like they're on the same level. He wants Michelle to his Barack. She wants someone to sit on the throne with her. They just seem like they're vibing, and he calls her a little Barbie doll. And she was like, you going to be the kin to my Barbie doll? I was like, yes, they are so cute. He just looks so polished with his bald head. She has the afro, looks good, it's cute. I'm loving this couple so far.
Me too.
It's not even a couple yet. I'm just saying that.
You called them out, the couple?
Yeah.
I'm liking their vibe too. When she said that, are you the kin to my Barbie? I was like, there you go. There you go.
So we get to the part of the show where nephew Tommy comes out, talks to the men and the women about who are they feeling. And apparently the men aren't feeling Simone and Danny. And I was blindsided. I was like, Danny? I thought y'all were vibing with her, having good connection. But they said that she's just a homegirl. So I was like, Mom, would you just be the homegirl on the show?
Wow, would I be the homegirl? I don't know. I would hope, just like Danny, I would have more to offer too if it was me. But I don't know the vibe they were getting because we really only saw her with one person with main communication. So I don't know why they said that.
And then the women are saying they're not feeling Raymond, which we all kind of already knew. Well, at least me and Mom did. And then they weren't feeling Sam. I was like, Sam. I was blindsided both times.
But on the women who the men said they were vibing with most, Joy is clearly the front runner.
And Adriana.
Yeah, because they definitely like Joy's vibe, what she brings, the hair, the clothes, like the fashionista. But as far as the women go, it was all over the board who they liked. It was a combination of multiple people except for the two they put up for elimination.
So the people who left was Sam and Danny. I was like, I better not see none of these women with Sam at the reunion. Alright, y'all, so that was the end of this week's episode, and it looks very good so far. Now my boy Sam has left. I gotta find a new boo on there. I already know who it is. I just don't know what his name is right now, but the next episode, I'm gonna have his name.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Mom?
Same. It's very interesting. I don't know who's going to be connections just yet, except for Ken and Barbie. But everyone else, it's a 50-50 shot. And see what the guy's name is who looks like I have an interest in my eye too. Young, but an interest.
It better not be my boo. But anyways, let us know what you guys thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like, you share this video to other people who watch Ready to Love, and you become one of our wonderful subscribers.
Thank you all for watching, and as always, live simply, be grateful.